I'm in kilometer 2, telling my friends that I wasn't feeling good, and I'm not feeling good. Something's wrong. I think I'm gonna throw up. I'm throwing up, but I'm gonna keep going.
Lisbon, Hyundai Half Marathon, let's go.
The race today begins in Vasco da Gama Bridge and then goes through Orient and Santa Apollonia, where you follow the river all the way to Praça do Comércio, where it ends. Although we got to the bridge around 8 a.m., the race didn't actually start until 9:20, which was quite a long time to wait around. But eventually we were off. Well, at least most people were off. I immediately was thinking, I don't feel right. I really don't feel right. I decided to push that thought to the side and just call that nervous energy in the beginning. And, sometimes the first kilometer is just difficult and it passes. I thought it's gonna pass. No worries, Andrew. Just keep going. Anyways, this is Vasco da Gama Bridge. It is actually contested to be the longest bridge in all of Europe. There is one in Crimea that, depending on the way you size the dimensions, could technically be considered longer. I don't know which one's which, but yes, that's this bridge. There's estuaries on both sides, which are kind of like bird sanctuaries. Really beautiful if you can look off the side. Tons and tons of flamingos. Which I just love how they walk like they just lost something very important. Like, oh my God, I lost that ring.
Just began. First kilometer is a lie.
I really wanted to believe that. I really did, but I knew that things were not going good. As soon as I started to try and do a boost, I tend to run this way where I sprint and then jog, sprint, jog. As soon as I tried to get into the sprint mode, I knew there was going to be no sprinting today.
So I was telling my friends that I wasn't feeling good, and I'm not feeling good. Something's wrong. I'm gonna throw up. I'm throwing up.
The thing, it was so early on in the race that there was still no paramedics, so my thought was, at the best, I should probably just, try and get off this bridge first and continue on after that. It was very embarrassing. People were coming up to me, "Tás bem? All good," and I was just, yeah, please, just go away, don't, no, please, bye, go, leave me be, please. So the most popular video on my channel is me doing the Lisbon Marathon this time last year, and even though I did that with no training, and I actually didn't really struggle too much, this one, I made way more rookie mistakes, and one of them was that I was eating a lot of random food yesterday, so I woke up feeling a little bit off, so I didn't know if I should eat breakfast or not, so I just didn't. Bad mistake. You're probably thinking, you didn't eat before a half marathon? No one said this was an advanced channel. After one more puking session, we were almost at the end of the bridge, and at this point I actually was starting to feel decent. I think this was about 6 to 7 kilometers in, and I decided, you know what, let's just keep going for a bit. And I went on cruise control mode, as in a very, very slow jog for me that I knew I could try and keep up for a long period of time without getting tired. And I think my first burst of energy that kind of made me think of, hey, maybe I could actually finish this race, was the cheer squad. So I really wanted to thank the event reps for having sort of stands right after we got off this bridge. Just having people cheering and having, you know, there was a fire truck throwing water at everyone, water stations, people cheering. There was just a very organized section right here that really helped me kind of remember that, you know, we were still quite far from Lisbon, so I was really grateful for that. I thought it was pretty cool. So this area here is called Vasco da Gama, Parque das Nações, and I also just call it Orient because the station is called Orient. Many names, many names. But apparently it was built around 98, so it's this new section of Lisbon that has some pretty interesting architecture actually, especially when you get closer to the mall and the train station up front. So one interesting thing I read about this area is that when they built it around the idea of the ocean. So it kind of looks like fish, vertebrae, and coral, and just has this cool marine design to it that I think really fits Portugal. This is probably off topic, but I also did a Camino de Santiago video where I biked from Lisbon to Santiago, not continuous, but in sections. And the start of the Lisbon route becomes really popular around this area, and you can start to see those yellow arrows everywhere. So it's a pretty nice area that you can kind of get through before anything. But you're probably just watching a marathon now. But, you know, self-promotion.
Wait, I need a minute. Okay, here it comes.
We are not doing well. Water does sweat in my eye.
After Parque das Nações, you get to Meia, which is a very cool, kind of trendy area of Lisbon with a lot of clubs and restaurants. Very, very cool area. It is a lot of shipyard esque time buildings. It's still a shipyard, but there's a lot of buildings that, are kind of not used for that reason anymore, that they've transformed into really trendy places. Really awesome. Lots of clubs, food, all that type of stuff. So even though on the left, at this point, it does get a little bit, it's not the nicest. It's a shipyard. What do you want them to do? Paint the ships different colors? It's a lot of money.
These energy packets everywhere. And if I missed the energy packet stand, I want justice. Because I'm dying. I'm at kilometer 12.
But then as soon as I said this, it was like an oasis in the desert. The 226 energy packet stands came up. And they're just kind of like energy gels. They have carbs and caffeine and just sodium and stuff to just keep you going, which I needed at this point. I think it helped. I think it definitely helped for sure. I didn't get tired until about 5 kilometers after here is when I died again. Cliffhanger. I throw up again. So if you look to the left, there's this guy. This guy. Let me tell you about him. I was so frustrated. I know he was just being silly. Hey, look at me. I'm not doing the race. I'm just on my scooter. Isn't that funny? But at this point, I was thinking, how dare you? How dare you? He did this for so long too. Part of me was thinking, this is your chance, Andrew. Push him over, take the scooter, go.
Vent pollué, broyé, l'époque est malade. Dans ses oreilles coule le gaz. Des bulles de black sad, écriture limonade. Poésie, un brin maussade. Bande originale d'un jour malheureux. Écrin de perles lacrymales cachées dans le creux des yeux. Rebelle discret. En décibels mélodieux, cherche en vain les restes.
Okay, we're at kilometer 15. Feeling a little better.
Piégé par la ville, happé par ses tentacules. Égaré dans une histoire sans virgule. Perméable bulle, il déambule.
To our right, we're starting to pass the red building over there, which is Santa Apollonia Station, which is the oldest major train station in Lisbon. It used to be much more important than it is today, as the station that we had passed a little while ago became the main station for national and international travel.
Last 5 kilometers, time to take the big guns, tasty replayed reality.
So I really have little to no complaints of the actual race itself, except for this last 6 kilometers. I said 5 back then, but it was actually 6. Because here on our right, we have Praça do Comércio, which is where our ending point is in the finish line. It's the main square of Lisbon. You've seen it many times. However, the problem is we don't go directly there. We have to go 3 kilometers up and then 3 kilometers back. And that was the end of me. That was when it was just over. I started to feel very nauseous again. I just couldn't go on because I kind of knew that we were going to loop a bit, but I didn't realize how much of a loop we had to go still. And it was really death. So at this point, I generally was worried about myself. I knew something was up when a police officer saw me and just randomly said, like, "Are you okay?" when I was running. That was kind of a sign, like, I must look horrible at the moment. So we just went. I just thumped one foot in front of the other, and I tried my best. But at this point, I had no choice but to walk at some points because I was not there.
So I never really walk. It's kind of my policy, but this time I have to. And it's something to think about because I'm about to do the Ironman. Alright, last kilometer, let's go.
So as I said, this time next year I will be doing my first half Ironman. Guys, if you like my video, please like and subscribe. But most of my new videos will probably be mostly about me trying to train in my own way. Like I said, this is not an advanced training thing, but I like to do biking trips. I like to go to the beach and swim and, you know, run with run clubs and stuff like this. So I feel like I could have some helpful information if you just believe in me. And at this point, I actually ended up, my two friends, Julia and Chris, who started on wave 5, actually caught up to me. And I need to say to Chris, I'm so sorry. He told me to just run with him because he could see that I was struggling. And I told him to go away. I told him, leave me alone. Go by yourself, run by yourself. That was not the real me, Chris. I'm happy you didn't listen. He stayed by my side. The plan was to at least hold this up for the full 2 minutes. I couldn't. Here I am. I'm sorry if this is gross. I have a mouthful of vomit here. I was holding in vomit at the finish line, and immediately I pulled to the side. The guy had to open the fence for me because he was so nervous of me getting it on everything, and I projectiled everywhere. But I finished, guys. I finished. Thank you so much for watching. Ciao.
Finished. I threw up immediately after. I'm done.